Hello, everyone. This is chapter 15, Managing Marketing Channels and Supply Chains. Okay. Right. In this chapter, we'll talk about everything about marketing channels of distributions and why intermediaries are needed or middlemen are needed. Okay. First, I'm sure most of you are familiar with Eddie Bauer, right? And the clothing lines, new clothings, right? And they have the break, click, and flip, right? For active outdoor enthusiasts, people who just love outdoors, right? This company, they have a multi-channel marketing strategy. They have 370 stores, brick and mortar stores. They have internet, web to sell their clothing lines, and they use catalogs. So basically, they have brick, click, and flip, right? Stores, web, and the catalogs. So they have very complex supply chain. So if you want to learn more about that, go to their website and you'll find more about it. Okay. So marketing channels. Yeah. What is marketing channel? Okay. Our marketing channel consists of individuals and firms involved in the process of making a product or service available for use or consumption by consumers or industrial users. Okay? Those companies, individuals in the process making the product available for end users or consumers. Right? And so products and services flow through intermediaries. Okay? Things that we buy, we use, we don't normally get it from the manufacturers directly. Okay? Functions and the intermediaries perform include transactional functions, we'll talk about just a second, logistical functions, facilitating functions, and also they provide utilities to consumers. The utilities we receive by consumers include time, place, and form. Okay, we'll talk about that just a second in the following pages. First, there's some terms used for marketing channels or marketing intermediaries. They vary in specificity and used in consumer and business markets. Sometimes it's called middleman, right? Any intermediary between the manufacturers and the end user market is called middleman, right? There could be called agent or broker, the intermediary with the legal authority to act on behalf of the manufacturer. Okay? There are wholesalers, an intermediary who sells to other intermediaries, usually to retailers. Okay? Usually applies to consumer markets. Okay? Retailer, that we're familiar with, most retail stores, that's an intermediary who sells to consumers. And all the stores in the shopping malls. Distributors, that's an imprecise term, usually used to describe intermediaries who perform a variety of distribution functions, including selling, maintaining inventories, extending credit, and so on. A more common term in business market, but may also be used to refer to wholesalers, distributors. Dealers, a more imprecise term than distributor, that it can mean the same as distributor, retailer, wholesaler, and so forth. Okay, so different terminologies. And marketing channels perform many functions, 3 functions, each of them consisting of different activities. The first function the marketing channels perform, intermediaries perform, is transactional function. Transactional meaning buying, the purchasing product for resale, or as an agent for supply of a product, right? They do selling. They contacting potential customers, promoting products, and seeking orders. Risk taking. They take the risk because once they get it, they assume the business risk in the ownership of the inventory that can become obsolete or deteriorate. But by then, they'll have to absorb the cost. So that's transactional functions the intermediaries do for consumers. They also perform logistical functions like assorting, creating product assortment from several sources to serve customers. Right? For example, we go to grocery stores every week. Right? In the grocery stores, you buy, maybe I don't know, anywhere between 10 to 50, 30, 50 type of products, items from different manufacturers. Right? You buy eggs, in grocery store shopping. You buy egg, milk, bread, butter, cheese, vegetables, fruits. They're all from all different industries, even from different countries, different continents. Somebody has to put them all together, make them all readily available to you. So that's kind of assortment. Okay, storing. They assemble and protecting the product at a convenient location, the store, to offer better customer service. They store those things, groceries, for example, in the store. They do sorting. They're purchasing in large quantities and breaking into smaller amounts desired by customers. Okay? You buy bananas, you buy just a few bananas, but they have to buy large quantities from South America. So they do the sorting part. They do transporting, physically moving the product to customers. You gotta get avocado from Mexico. Okay? You don't need to go to Mexico to get avocados. They provide the transportation for you. Okay? That's logistical functions. And then there's a facilitating function that we may not realize. One's financing. They extend credit to customers. Okay? Sometimes we buy on credit. You buy a car, you get a car loan, okay, from them. Grading. They do the inspecting, testing, or charging products and assigning them quality grades, different type of a grade, right? The high, low grades of product. Also, marketing information and research. They provide information to customers and suppliers, including competitive conditions and trends. So, we can get that information. Okay. These are the marketing functions, type of functions, marketing channel distributions provide. Okay. Make sure you understand them. They will be in your test. Okay. And marketing channel structure. Let's talk about channel structure and organization. Marketing channels for consumer products. There is a direct channel, like a Dell computer, right? It's from producer to consumer, direct. Okay? But many other products, most products are not sold through direct channel. They go through an indirect channel, from producer to retailers to consumers, or producer to wholesalers to retailers, then to consumers, or to producer to agents to wholesalers, retailers, and then consumers. Okay, so it's very long, complicated channels. Okay? Let me give you some example here. Right? Schwann's Food, this store or this producer, may just sell directly to consumers. That's the one. Okay, Toyota cars, they'll sell to retailers and then to consumers. Mars candy bars, they actually sell to wholesaler, to retailer, and to consumers. Right? Mensa products, another company, they sell to agent, to wholesaler, retailer, and then to the consumer. Okay? You can see common marketing channels for consumer products by different kind, and service by different kind, by the kind of number of intermediaries involved. Direct channel for marketing channels to business offers, to business buyers. It could be direct channel from producer to industrial user. Also, it could be through indirect channels, such as producer to industrial distributor to industrial user, producer to agents, industrial users, or producer to agents to industrial distributors and the industrial users. Okay, that's B2B channels. Okay, let's give this example here. IBM. IBM probably will sell their computers mainframe directly to industrial users. Okay, Caterpillar, the tractors, they'll sell to an industrial distributor and then to industrial users. Stick Fastener Company, they'll sell to agent, to users. Heckman Electric, they'll sell to agent, industrial distributor, and the industrial users. Okay? Internet marketing channels. There's new emerging channels here. It combines electronic and traditional intermediaries. It creates time, place, form, and possession utility for buyers, and also includes services such as car rental, financial securities, and insurance. There's internet marketing channels. Okay? Let's look at some examples here. Book publisher will sell to a book wholesaler, to Amazon.com, the virtual retailer, then to us, the consumers. Auto manufacturers will sell to auto dealer, auto retail, right? Virtual broker to consumers. Commercial airlines will sell to Orbitz or Hotwire, virtual agent, they sell their tickets to consumers. Dell to sell direct to consumers, okay, online. Okay. There are direct and multi-channel marketing. Direct marketing channels versus indirect marketing channels. And there are also multi-channel marketing. What's multi-channel marketing? That involves the blending of different communication and delivery channels that are mutually reinforcing in attracting, retaining, and building relationships with consumers who shop and buy in traditional intermediaries and online. Okay, that's multi-channel. Basically, they use several channels, at the same time that are actually reinforcing and helping with each other. Okay? Some companies use dual distribution. It involves an arrangement whereby a firm reaches different buyers by employing two or more different types of channels for the same basic product. Okay? Dual distribution. Okay? And they form strategic channel alliances. You can look at the Honey Nut Cheerios ad. Okay? Also, marketing. Nestle and General Mills, they're cereal partners worldwide. Right? They're forming strategic alliances. Cereal partners worldwide. It's aligned to be a global business, designed to be a global business. U.S. General Mills, cereal manufacturer and marketing. Swiss company Nestle is worldwide distribution. And they work together in over 140 global markets and holds 10% market share. That's $4 billion in revenue every year. So pretty big, right? I'm sure we all have used the cereal products. Okay? Vertical marketing system. What is a vertical marketing system? Vertical marketing systems are professionally managed and centrally coordinated marketing channels designed to achieve channel economies and maximum marketing impact. They call it vertical marketing system. The corporate systems like forward integration, backward integration, versus a contractual system like wholesaler-sponsored voluntary chains or retailer-sponsored cooperatives or franchising. They're all vertical marketing system. Okay? So vertical marketing system, it could be corporate vertical marketing system, like a Polo, Ralph Lauren, use that, right? And you have a contractual vertical marketing systems. That's a wholesaler-sponsored voluntary chains, like Ben Franklin, okay? Or you can use franchise programs, right? And you have a retail-sponsored cooperatives, like Associated Grocers, grocery stores, right? For franchise program, you can have manufacturer-sponsored retail franchise, like Ford, okay? Or manufacturer-sponsored wholesale franchise system, like Pepsi Cola, or a service-sponsored retail franchise system, like Holiday Inn, or a service-sponsored franchise system, like H&R Block, the tax services. Okay, there's different type of vertical marketing systems: corporate, contractual, very most popular, and administered. Okay, contractual systems. Alternative franchising, manufacturer-sponsored retail franchise. You have seen that all the time. Manufacturer-sponsored wholesale franchise, and the service-sponsored franchise, retail franchise. Okay? Okay, marketing channel choice and management. Factors affecting channel choice. Marketers choose channels by the best coverage of a target market. Can this channel cover the target market the best for you? Best satisfy buyers' requirements. Right? Is it profitable or not? Okay. So as to the target market coverage, how you cover your target market, or the density of coverage, the three types of distribution. One is called intensive distribution, exclusive and selective. What's intensive distribution? That's the level of distribution density whereby a firm tries to place its product and services in as many outlets as possible. Intensive, many places. Okay. And then exclusive distribution, however, is a level of distribution density whereby only one retailer in a specific geographic area carries the firm's products. Okay? Very few. Right? A selective distribution is a level of distribution density where a firm selects a few retailers in a specific geographic area to carry its products. So what are the examples here? What would be the good example of intensive distribution? Like Coca-Cola products, for example, is everywhere, right? What will be an exclusive distribution? Maybe Rolex watches, okay? Only a few, selective distributors, or Rolls-Royce cars. Okay? What is selective distribution? Okay? Several distributors. There are many of the automobiles we see, Ford, GM cars or Toyotas. Okay? They use selective distribution. Okay? Also, marketing channel choice management, channel choice considerations. You need to consider buyer requirements, information, variety, convenience, pre or post sales service, profitability. And you consider those buyer requirements, okay, in selecting your channel choice. Choose your channels. Okay. This is the example of Charlesburg Furniture allocates to the allocated marketing fund based on channel dollar sales or on profit. Okay, this one shows the sales. This is sales. This is profit. The furniture store chains, 62%. Furniture store, 62% of sales, 48% of profit. Right. Independent furniture stores get 22% of the sales, but 45% of the profit. Department store chains, 14% of the sales, 7% of profit. Okay. This one shows the annual percentage change in sales by channel, furniture store chains, independent furniture stores, department stores. Okay. Even though which one has the highest profitability? Independent stores, right? But the volume, the percent of sales is the largest for furniture chain stores. Okay, so we have to take these into consideration. Okay, there could be conflict and cooperation among channel members. There could be sources conflict. What's a channel conflict? Channel conflict arises when one channel member believes another channel member is engaging in behavior that prevents it from achieving its goals. So that's not good, right? And there could be a vertical conflict from the supplier to upper supplier along the supply chain, from manufacturer to supplier, wholesaler, for example. Or there could be disintermediation. Right? What's disintermediation? It involves channel conflict that arises when a channel member bypasses another member and sells by its product direct. The bypass the channel member, and then the intermediation is gone. Right? It's called disintermediation. Right? There could be horizontal conflict also as well. Okay? Vertical and horizontal. Okay? There's a term called the channel captain, right? The channel captain. Channel captain is normally the key, the most important members of the channel. Okay? of the supply chain. The channel captain will normally coordinate, direct, supports, and other channel members. It influences the behavior of channel members, from economic expertise, identification, legitimate right, and everything, right? So, like for example, we have Walmart, that's a retail store, right? And then many suppliers, sellers, sell to Walmart. Whom do you think is the captain of the channel? Who has the most power, right? That's Walmart. And channel strategies and practices are also affected by legal restrictions. The Clayton Act and Sherman Act restrict specific channel strategies and practices. In Clayton Act, vertical integration, tying arrangement, exclusive dealing, refusal to deal, and dual distribution are governed here. Okay? In Sherman Act, it affects dual distribution and resale restrictions. Okay? Also, logistics and supply chain. There's some key concepts here. Logistics and supply chain. I'm sure you have heard about this, right? Seen this or heard about a lot all the time. What is logistics? Logistics consists of those activities that focus on getting the right amount of the right products to the right place at the right time at the lowest possible cost. That's logistics, okay? Then supply chain consists of a sequence of firms that perform activities required to create and deliver a product or service to ultimate consumers or industrial users. All those firms constitute a supply chain. Okay? In logistics or logistics management, and they have to consider customer requirement, the flow of goods, and it has to be cost effective and provide good customer service. In supply chain, for companies like General Motors, for example, in their supply chain, they have hundreds of suppliers. They really have to manage the supply chain well, right? And there has to be integration across firms, so they can arrange for example, delivery and quality and quantity and delivery in time, things like that. Okay? In relating logistics management and supply chain management to supplier networks and marketing channels, okay? You have suppliers, you have producers, you have consumers, right? In logistics management, you take care of the inbound flow of raw materials and parts from suppliers to producers, okay? And also manage the outbound flow of finished products from producers to consumers. Okay? In your supply chain management, you need to form your supplier network, and then you also need to manage your marketing channels. Okay? That's in supply chain management. Okay? The automotive supply chain includes thousands of firms that provide functional components, parts, etc. in a car. Okay? For example, in the supplier network, you have raw materials, steel, aluminum, and rubber, and you have components, transmission, brakes, seats of cars, and you have sub-assemblies like suspension, chassis, and engine. Right? These are from your supplier network. They provide that to automobile manufacturer, GM, Ford, or Toyota. Okay? And then they have the marketing channels. They have dealers to distribute the cars they manufactured. They have dealer network of Cadillac, Chevrolet, Lincoln, Mercury, Toyota, and Lexus. Okay? And then these dealer networks sell those cars to consumers. Okay? Align supply chain with marketing strategy. Yeah. To align your supply chain with your strategy, to make sure so your strategy can function well, you need to have good understanding of your customer. You have good understanding of your supply chain. You need to harmonize the supply chain with your marketing strategy. Okay. Example here is IBM built a single integrated supply chain. Handle their raw materials, manufacturing, logistics, customer support, order entry, and customer fulfillment. Yeah. They have 360 locations in 64 countries. They have 17,000 suppliers in 100 countries. Yeah. Tailored mix of hardware, software, and services. Watson, you heard of Watson, right? Combines AI, the artificial intelligence, and sophisticated software to improve the supply chain. You know, I'm sure you have seen the Watson playing in Jeopardy, or Watson playing, chess and the Go challenge games. Okay? This example of logistics supply chain management, BADM. They have a very responsive supply chain. They have customized computer systems, relies on more expensive express transportation to get their computers to you. Okay, Walmart has actually a very efficient supply chain. They have a reliable so as to deliver reliable, low price. It's a very reliable, very low price retailer chain stores. Right? They use a cross stocking, right? But from manufacturer stock to Walmart stock. One thing, Walmart doesn't have a warehouse. You go to Walmart store, you see something on the shelf, you see they run out of stock. You ask clerk, could you get something for me from the warehouse, from the bag? They say, we don't have something in the bag. They don't have it, right? Whatever they have on the shelf is whatever they have. They actually save on those stock keeping, warehousing and operations. Okay? It's a very efficient supply chain. And two concepts of logistics management in the supply chain. Total logistic cost. Total logistic cost consists of the expenses associated with the transportation, materials handling, and warehousing, inventory and stockouts, to being out of inventory, all the processing and return products handling. That's total logistic cost. And that includes the transportation, inventory, material handling, everything, right? And there's a customer service. That's the ability of logistics management to satisfy users in terms of time, dependability, communication, and convenience. Okay? It's the ability to satisfy users. Okay? This example of illustration of supply chain managers balancing total logistic cost factors against customer service factors. They have to consider all these and all the customer service factors, and these are all logistic cost factors. Time management. In logistics management, in the supply chain, time management very critical. There is the order cycle time, right? How long does it take for the order to go through, right? Replenishment time. How long does it take for some items to be replenished? Inventory delivery systems, quick response system, efficient consumer response system, QR, quick response system, called QR, quick response, efficient consumer response, ECR. There's perfected by the Japanese grocery industries. Very good, inventory delivery system. Okay. Save time. Okay. Read that. Also, there is reverse logistics. We heard about logistics, right? There's a reverse logistics. That's reclaiming recyclable and reusable materials from the consumers back to the manufacturers, right? To the supply chain, right? So rework for consumption, use for repair. It benefits the environment and reduces the waste, so it's a good thing to use, right? You can watch this UPS video on this reverse logistics. And recycled computer, and Hewlett-Packard, for example, they recycle their e-waste, right? Recycled computer and printer hardware, they start doing that since 1987. And 15 megatons of electronics annually go to landfills around the world. 50 megatons, right? Servicing over 73 territories, recycled over 2 billion pounds of computer and printer hardwares, and use recycled plastic to produce products. And look at this HP, recycling video here to find more. Okay, I think that's all I have for this chapter on channels of distribution. I'll talk to you next time.